All hail the Clicks crew. Alright guys, today we are doing the monthly shout out video. Thank you Patreon patrons for helping the channel grow and helping financially so that I can continue to do unboxings and upgrade equipment and stuff like that. We did a lot of growing this past month. There was a little bit of rubber balling there at the end where like we made a lot but then we lost a lot, but anyway, we ended up ultimately increasing our patronage, which is good. Make sure to check back for the month of July because I'm planning on having a really big month, doing some crazy giveaways if we hit our goal, like really crazy over the top things, just because I think that'd be cool. And doing some other neat stuff with you guys. So keep an eye out. I'm also going to be doing more content. And just thank you guys again. You guys have been really awesome sending me messages and stuff like that. And just you're a really good community, and I thank you for that. So if you've never been a part of a Mr. Clicks Flicks Patreon shout out video, what I do is I read through everybody's name that's Patreon patron, just to say thank you, personal thank you for helping out and just supporting the Mr. Clicks Flicks YouTube channel. And then at the end, I do have a few shout out items that will have some winners, and then I'll ship that stuff out to the winners of that stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just dive right in. All right, up first we have Adam Misjuski. I think it's how you say that. I'm super sorry if I didn't, but I've been on his podcast a few different times, so if I didn't get it right, I'm sure he'll be able to tell me. So thank you, Adam. Thank you, Alan Ware. Thank you, Alan Wood. Thank you, Andrew Fallon. Thank you, Andrew New. Thank you, Anthony Bruno. Thank you, Ben Loins. Thank you, Brett Griffin. Thank you, Chris Caprone. Thank you, Christian Boggin. Thank you, Clefton Phelps. Thank you, David Chichak. Thank you, David Herberger. Thank you, Elijah Musket. Thank you, Eric Smith. Thank you, Eric T. Thank you, Errol Hanna. Thank you, Hagen Rhodes. Thank you, Harley Clicks. Thank you, Jarek Solberg. Thank you, Jake Gibbs. Thank you, Jared Phelps. Thank you, Jay Major. Thank you, Jeff Majeski. Thank you, Jeffrey Waski. And then, as you can see, we do have quite a few people. So thank you again for becoming a Patreon patron. And if you aren't, go ahead and consider it. It's patreon.com/MrClicksFlicks. There's a bunch of cool stuff on there. There's a free downloadable PDF that has all like a quick reference for team abilities because there's not really one available. It's unofficial, but it does have everything from the WizKids site on it. So that's really cool. And then there's, gets you in on the giveaways, the shout out videos, and if I do some exclusive content, generally gains you access to that and some other pretty cool giveaways. Or some cool content and stuff like that for you guys. Let me see here. Thank you, John Hopper. Thank you, John Waters. Thank you, John Waters again. Thank you, Jonathan Dummigan. Thank you, Jorge Bauer. Thank you, Jose Ferrero. Thank you, Joseph Tweedle. Thank you, Joshua Littig. And you'll see after Joshua's name is a number 1 because he is a world champion Patreon patron, so that means he gets 3 shout outs per month, which is 3 entries into the shout out videos. For your typical month, it doesn't mean he wins 3 times, it just means he has an increased chance at winning. Only whenever I do like a big booster giveaway or something like that will he and anybody else in some of the other places that we'll talk about have an opportunity to win more than once, just because I want to spread it out as much as I can. Thank you, Julius Cooper. Thank you, Calder Ness from Dial H for Heroclix. Thank you, Kaylee Solberg. Thank you, Chris Fox. Thank you, Lou Headley. Thank you, Mark G. Thank you, Marlon Scott. Thank you, Mike Govin. Mike is the national championship level, so he gets 2 shout-outs per month. Thank you, Owen Hobbs. Thank you, Peter Weeks. Thank you, Joshua Littig again. Thank you, R.A. Zog. Thank you, Randy Harden. Thank you, Richard L. Johnson. Thank you, Rylan Close. Thank you, Sean Cody. Thank you, Semperclix. Thank you, Tommy Rosa. Thank you, Tony Canavino. Thank you, Caleb Josh Dean. Thank you, Tyler Smith. Thank you, Tyler James. Thank you, Tyler Lawman. Thank you, Tyler Watkins. Thank you, Wayne Litzinger. Thank you, Mike Govan again. And thank you, Joshua Littig again. So thank you guys for your support. It really does mean a lot. I've been able to do a bunch of upgrades. I've been able to get a bunch of cool stuff to just kind of give back to you guys and say thank you. If we make our next month's Patreon goal, like I said, we're going to go off. We're going to start giving away crazy things that you guys are going to be very excited for. At least I hope you're excited for. I just try to, whenever I pick an item to use as a shout out item, I try to pick something that I'd be excited to get. So that's kind of my litmus test on if it's cool or not. But anyway, so this month we have 2 shout out items, or kind of like a shout out item in a package, so to speak. So I've had these for a little bit, and I've been meaning to give them away. So I'm going to do it as a whole package. I've got a Super Giant WizKids Open, a Remaker Ring, and a Corvus's Glaive that I've been meaning to give away, and I just didn't get around to it. So somebody's going to win all that stuff. And then the next person's going to win a Hedge Maze map. This is probably one of my favorite maps. I like it a lot for sealed. If there's no colossals, because if you end up with a flying hypersonicer, it really makes your opponent, in general. Now, if you get a top player, they know how to work around it. But for 90-80% of the players, that map alone makes it impossible if you have a hypersonic flyer. So I like that one a lot. I love that it's the neoprene, so that will be the other prize. So I already loaded you guys in here on Wheel Decide, and we can do this up to 100 people. So 60 is how many are in here right this second. So we've still got, we're a little over halfway there to fill it up. And once we fill it up, we'll probably go to like random.org or something and do like I do for the Troll and Toad giveaways and stuff like that. But for right now, this is what we have. Now, it's also set up for when... well, here, let's make it so that you can see it. It's also set up for when someone's picked, it removes them from it. Now, if somebody that has multiple entries should be picked for a different one of their entries this month, I'll just hit it again until we get somebody that hasn't won something yet. So good luck to everybody. So up first, we're going to do the Super Giant package, and this stuff will be sent out to you free of charge. It's just an extra thank you for sponsoring the channel and stuff like that. I really can't do enough to express my gratitude to you guys for this. So anyway, without further ado, here we go for the Super Giant with Corvus's Glaive and Remaker Ring. And I just hit the wrong button. There you go. Click to spin. For crying out loud. I had 2 buttons to pick from. I still messed it up. Anyway, let's see who wins here. All right, Andrew New. I feel like he's won stuff before. But anyway, so congratulations, Andrew. You get a Super Giant WizKids Open prize. She's really good, by the way. And then you get a Remaker Ring, which shows up on a lot of my teams, and a Corvus's Glaive, which is, it's okay, but it came out with these, so I thought it'd be cool to include. So Andrew, I'm going to send you a message just to confirm that your address is the same as what it is on Patreon, because sometimes they're not always the same. And then, yeah, get that shipped out to you. All right, so now for the Hedge Maze Premium map. Clefton Phelps, you are the winner of a Hedge Maze Premium map. This map's awesome. Like I said, whenever I was talking about it, I use it. I take it with me for almost every sealed tournament and stuff like that, just because it's really confounds a lot of players. So congratulations. Again, I'll just be messaging you to confirm that I have the correct shipping address, and then I'll ship it out to you. So if you didn't win something, don't be discouraged. There will be stuff next month. There's also Troll and Toad giveaways. Make sure to check that stuff out. I'm going to be getting together with Troll and Toad again for other giveaways. And like I said, next month, it's going to be tied to a goal because it's pretty lofty things that I'm trying to give away. But make sure to check that stuff out because I'm trying to really make it worth it so when you guys win something, you win something really cool. So, all right, guys, thank you again for being Patreon patrons. It really would be more difficult to do this without you guys. I wouldn't be able to do nearly the amount of unboxings and giveaways and stuff like that. So really, thank you. That's all I have for you guys today. As always, please remember that it's not a critical miss if you don't have probability control.